education.
Affirmative action is.
Affirmative
action is.
Fair education.
Affirmative action is.
Fair education.
Affirmative action is.
Fair education.
Affirmative action is.
Fair education.
Affirmative action is.
Fair education.
Affirmative action is.
Fair education.
Affirmative action is.
Fair education.
Affirmative action is.
Fair education.
Show me what diversity looks like.
This is what diversity looks like.
Show me what diversity looks like.
This is what diversity looks like.
Show me what solidarity looks like.
This is what diversity looks like.
Show me what solidarity looks like.
This is what solidarity looks like.
Ain't no power like the power of the people, cause the power of people don't stop.
Say what?
Ain't no power like the power of the people, cause the power of people don't stop.
Say what?
Ain't no power like the power of people, cause the power of people don't stop.
Say what?
Ain't no power like the power of people, cause the power of people don't stop.
Say what?
Hi everybody, thank you so much for coming. My name is Harrison Tuttle. I'm the president of Black Lives Matter Rhode Island Political Action Committee. And today I'm joined with so many amazing youth advocates that you're going to hear from. Not only that, but community members. We've got president of the NAACP. We also have recently a new executive director of BLMRI Supreme. We've also got Gary Dantzler with BLMRI. And so the reason for this event is because with the recent SCOTUS ruling of affirmative action, it's going to directly impact students here at Brown and all universities throughout the country. And so it's really, really important for students who are most affected by this to be able to use their platform to be able to speak on the issues that directly impact them. And so I'm so happy for you being here, because oftentimes when it comes to youth speakers, we have so many who want to use their voice, but not people that want to listen to them. And so having them be able to know that you support them and that this is coming out with support is incredibly important. And so I would have not been able to do it without a call in the middle of the night by Zainabu. Zaya is a student at the Met who has been fighting literally since I've known her, since at least freshman year of high school, who's incredibly passionate about racial justice and equity. It's a pleasure to co-host this with you, and I want to give it off to you to run this event. Go ahead.
So the day I heard about affirmative action being rolled out and canceled, it broke my heart. I remember I was gonna write a speech, but I felt like it would be more authentic if it came from the heart. So I know, like, it's my year to apply for college, and I think I've looked forward to this until I knew what college was. So hearing that affirmative action would not be in the decision-making process when it came to my college application, it really broke my heart, just because I know, although I have so many accolades and achievements and I'm very confident in myself academically, I don't have private tutoring. I don't go to a private school. I come from an inner city, Woonsocket, Rhode Island, where there's not a lot of education accessibility for a lot of the students. I go to the Met High School in Providence, and compared to students who may be going to LaSalle or who go to Bishop Hendricken, I don't have everything accessible to me, and that really scares me for my future. I know when I was 11 years old, I wrote an essay to my parents explaining to them that they wouldn't have to worry about me going to college, because I would be the first female in my dad's family to ever graduate high school or to even go to a four-year institution. So affirmative action being rolled out has not only crippled my application, but the applicants of all first-generation immigrants who dream to be the first woman or first person, period, in their family to be able to attend a four-year institute. And without a four-year institute, it can cripple my chances as a successful future. That not only it hurts me, it hurts my family here, and it hurts my family back in Africa. So for whoever is watching this, my ask is that you promote diversity, equity, and inclusion for all applicants, so we have a safe space at these institutes. So we also have the ability and opportunity to be just as successful as everyone else in America. Because much like my parents and the rest of the world, we all came here for equal opportunity and a chance to pursue our happiness. But without equitable education, we can't do that. I would love to introduce the first speaker, Miriam from Tolman High School.
Hi, I'm here to protest. Sorry. I'm here to protest against the overturn of affirmative action because I feel like there's so many misconceptions about affirmative action that are spewed in media, especially when it comes to Black, Indigenous, and Latino communities. Affirmative action was set to reverse predominantly white institutions that are still in America today, especially since for generations that we've lived in this country, cis heterosexual white men have been prioritized when it comes to college admissions. A lot of people think affirmative action is just giving an easy gift or easy way in for Black students or Latino students or Hispanic students, but in reality, it's so way different than people try to make it seem. Affirmative action has helped people of color have equal access to education in college, especially because there are so many who are in poverty and who are not able to get equal opportunities and don't go to private institutions. I feel like affirmative action has always been used to put down the accomplishments of many Black students who are so hardworking and put their all into their work, especially in school, extracurricular activities, and doing what they need to do to make sure that their community is a better and safe place for everyone involved. The overturn of affirmative action affects so many, not just me as a Black woman, but so many immigrants, because in this country, America has not always prioritized immigrants in anything. And affirmative action is a way that we can be seen and heard and not overlooked. It is not an easy way in for Black students to get into an Ivy League prestigious college. It's a way for us to have an equal opportunity and for colleges to put us in mind rather than cis heterosexual white people. A lot of people, when they go on the topic of affirmative action, they don't put into mind legacies, which have benefited white rich people for years now. Affirmative action is the only thing that's really ever targeted because it's a way to help minorities in a country that's not always prioritized us for generations. I'm here speaking for the first time for affirmative action to still be considered in college admissions. It's such an important thing for everyone of color, not just us, to have equal education and access when it comes to their future. I am not the first person graduating or entering college, but I am one of the first people in my family coming out to advocate and become a better person so minorities like myself can have a better future.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Makora Lewis. I am a recent graduate of the Met High School, and I'm also an incoming HBCU student. So I kind of created a letter for future HBCU students around how affirmative action will probably benefit or not benefit the challenges of HBCUs. So here it goes. Dear future HBCU students, congratulations on your monumentous decision to pursue higher education at an HBCU or historically Black college or university. This choice demonstrates your unwavering commitment to seeking an education that not only uplifts your academic potential, but also celebrates the rich history, culture, and accomplishments of Black Americans. HBCUs have always stood for pillars of strength and resilience, playing an indispensable role in American higher education. Established in the aftermath of the Civil War, these institutions provided a sanctuary where Black Americans could pursue their dreams of a college education and a nation deeply enriched in racial segregation. While the Civil Rights Act of 1964 outlawed segregation, HBCUs continue to serve as a beacon of inclusivity, offering a warm and nurturing environment where Black college students, particularly those from low-income, first-generation backgrounds, can thrive. Through the recent decision to end affirmative action brings new challenges, we must view them as opportunities to rise even higher. We acknowledge the struggles for representation in predominantly white institutes, also called PWIs, where the lack of teachers and professors who mirror the diversity of students hinders our full potential. We shall overcome this obstacle and use our experiences as the upcoming leaders of the world of change. Our presence, voices, and accomplishments will pave the way for a future where our stories are fully seen and celebrated. While it may be possible that in the face of limited diversity courses and in clubs at PWIs, we will embrace our HBCU education wholeheartedly. Our institutions are fertile grounds for cultivating a deep understanding of our history, heritage, and contributions. We together can create our own platforms, amplifying our voices and sharing our stories to bridge the gaps of misunderstanding and cultivate empathy and unity. As we embark on this transformative journey, let us confront misconceptions head on. Affirmative action exists to create equitable opportunities, ensuring that all students, regardless of their background, have a fair chance at higher education. We must reject attempts to pit communities against each other. Instead, we have to stand united, acknowledging that all collective success elevates us all. We must challenge stereotypes, dismantle barriers, and rewrite the narratives that have marginalized all of us. Our achievements will be the testament to a limitless potential within each of us. And to all minority students, whether you are attending an HBCU or an MSI, remember you are embarking on an extraordinary journey. Know that you are part of a proud legacy that spans generations. Your presence will embody the spirit of those who came before you, visionaries, activists, leaders. Their sacrifices and triumphs have paved the way for our success today. Cherish the unique experiences, tradition, and cultural celebrations that you will encounter. Embrace the responsibilities and privilege of carrying the torch of progress and leading our communities towards a brighter future. Affirmative action has been the key to unlocking these hidden treasures, allowing countless individuals to overcome systemic barriers and contribute to society in remarkable ways. As the Supreme Court's decision jeopardizes this opportunity, we must act swiftly and decisively. We cannot let the door to education be shut on future generations. We must advocate for the preservation of affirmative action, ensuring that the untapped potential of our communities continues to flourish. And here I have a little poem. Can I read it? Okay. So, I stand before you, a proud first-generation soul. From a humble, low-income family, my story unfolds. Jamaican and Panamanian heritage runs through my veins, a testimony of strength of diverse cultural strains. I am the embodiment of Black girl magic, fierce and bold, and Black queer magic, a story waiting to be told. With gratitude, I reflect on this opportunity bestowed to apply to over 40 schools. In the past year, I navigated this winding path, accepted into 31 schools. Thank you guys. An achievement that will last, including George Washington University, Howard, and Spelman too. Each offering a promise of growth, dreams coming true. But let me make one thing abundantly clear. My success is not just a mere stroke of luck. I'm an example of affirmative action, a product of resilience and determination. Shattering stereotypes, I rise. I am more than just a statistic, more than just a token, a symbol of what's possible when barriers are broken. McCord Lewis, a name etched in history, a testimony to the power of affirmative action's victory. With unwavering pride, I stand before you today, a beacon of hope lighting the way. May my story inspire and ignite the flame as we strive for a future where all dreams claim. I am a Cora Lewis, a testament of extraordinary, a vision of I'm going to reread that because that's very powerful. I am a Cora Lewis, a testament to extraordinary, an example of what can be when we believe in a visionary. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Aaliyah Forts. I am a rising junior at the Met High School. I'm from Pawtucket, Rhode Island, and I'm 16 years old. Recently when I was brought the news about affirmative action being overturned, to be honest, I was having a hard time sorting through my feelings and my worries. And one way that I kind of cope with that or sort through those feelings is through creative writing. And so I wrote a piece that I'm gonna read to you guys today. I've been fed a false fantasy, liberty and justice for all, the very words embedded within our Pledge of Allegiance. Allegiance, devotion or loyalty to a person, group, or cause. But how can this be possible when you forever treasured a particular looking person, or a particular looking group, or a particular sounding cause? For all, the full amount, quantity, or extent of. But these endless call-outs, just so my voice can be heard at least, leads me to concede with the fact that I was never considered someone to begin with at all. But wait, they've started something called affirmative action that will not only protect me from discrimination, but offer me the resources that will guide me in reaching my many, many goals. I finally feel seen, but wait, because we have turned back time. Whatever happened to history? We learn from it so it doesn't repeat itself, correct? So why take it away when it was proved to be resourceful? So many beacons of success. What about me and everyone else who now has to suffer the repercussions? Just as I thought we were getting somewhere, back to square one. I've been fed a false fantasy.
Hi, my name is Isis Gerfalls. I attend the Met High School in Providence. I'm a rising senior, so soon to be applying to colleges. So I was, along with Aaliyah, I was also not confused. I was very certain on my feelings, but I wasn't really sure how to talk about it because I never thought we'd have to talk about it. And I was talking to someone about it, and I kind of just wanted to share both perspectives and how I felt about the discussion. What truly is diversity? I was conversing with someone that is for removing affirmative action. We sat and discussed statistics, our agreements and disagreements, and whatnot. One of my biggest takeaways from this conversation was the topic on diversity and its significance. They said, you have a university where all the people who think the same but look different. To me, that's not true diversity. And I grew to agree with this statement. We don't necessarily have a true definition of what it is, and to this person, it shouldn't be a result of the color of your skin or your race. That true diversity is the mindset of a student, their way of thinking, creating, and changing the world. However, with that debate, I found it intellectually lazy how they use this as a counter to affirmative action. With this, you have to think of how a student becomes an independent thinker and how one has their own stories to tell. And I can tell you right now, it is definitely not the same group of white students that grow up in the same environment, grow up in the middle class above, and with the same SAT tutors. I know true diversity comes within your environment, your cultural traditions, ways of living, which provides these unique stories and mindsets. Your way of thinking is a result of who you are, and who you are is based on your nature, and that being your cultural background. People believe that affirmative action brings people of color viewed as less than because we are a resort of more needed diversity in whatever place it may be. Affirmative action does not cure or curate that thought because unfortunately in this country, that is an automatic label society has put upon the BIPOC community and an overall bias. It surprises me that affirmative action was shot down earlier than predicted. I do think with proper timing, affirmative action can be removed. However, once we have reached the threshold of proper justices towards the BIPOC community, we are obviously not there yet. If race was not an issue and we had proper justices and the system which planted racism did not exist, this would be a class issue. But that's not the case here. This is a result of when you put poor people in poor communities, failing school systems, and minimal career opportunities and unfair pay wages. And it pisses me off that those privileged enough to sit and act as if they play no role into this conclusion. Who proposed these actions? Who complained about it? Who displayed it? Who instigated us? And who has put us minorities in this placement? It wasn't ever about giving us an advantage. It was about cleansing yourselves for your past sins. Once we reach the threshold, you start practicing equality on our behalf, then we can talk again. We need people of color in order to provide diversity on a philosophical and intellectual level in these universities. And I know I can give my perspective to you white Americans and you can learn something from it. Thank you.
What's good, everybody? My name is Paul Eckerwin. I'm a rising sophomore at the illustrious Clark Atlanta University, one of the many HBCUs in Atlanta, Georgia. Yeah. And when we found out about what happened with affirmative action, I was with my siblings in the car, and honestly, it didn't feel real. Obviously, we had a lot of questions. My brother was the one who had told me, but something that we asked ourselves was, why now? Why us? Even why only race? And how does something meant to solve a problem of discrimination in this country violate an amendment that was meant to solve an issue of previously enslaved people and citizenship? These are things that we continue to ask ourselves, but even more so, we have to ask ourselves, how does it affect us as Black people, young people, college students, rising college students, and even more so, HBCU students? I know me, my sister, my brother, we're proud to say we're an HBCU family. All of us attend HBCUs, but in this, which that was an effort we had made, experiencing PWIs for the majority of our life. You know what I'm saying? What's good? And experiencing this, we have to ask ourselves, how does this affect us? How does this affect many people that are trying to be first generation college students and people in the city who want to attend these schools that at one point were a possibility but now is a reach? And obviously it affects a lot of people in PWIs, or Black people in PWIs in a lot of ways. For one, it affects the amount of Black people that are in PWIs. Anybody that has attended a PWI, who attends a PWI, knows how important it is to be around people that look like you and can understand your experience in a place that you're already a minority. But even more so, I think something that kind of went on my heart that I really want to stretch forward to y'all today is to support HBCUs, especially in a time like this. Yes, it's not easy. I understand, especially being in the East Coast, being in New England and Rhode Island, that there's not a lot of HBCUs around us. And honestly, even where we're at, it's a privilege to be able to leave the state, let alone to attend an HBCU. But I really just want to stress forward to you guys, especially the people who are students and who are rising into college, leave no stone unturned and to go and ask for help wherever you can to attend and support HBCUs. I feel like at times where we're being rejected and we're not being helped in institutions and by legislation is a time where we gotta help each other as Black people and as Black institutions. So however you can, ask for help. If you know any HBCU students, we're here to help. But that's my message to you guys today, to support HBCUs, especially right now. If you weren't supporting them before, right now, if anything, is a time to support HBCUs. Thank you.
My name is Agustin Leon Sáenz, and I'm a rising junior at Harvard College. I'd like to speak to the fact that the Supreme Court recognizes that affirmative action matters in the military, but not for higher education, because they think that our bodies are more valuable than our brains. They think that our labor is more valuable than our intellect. And so we need to recognize that affirmative action has only been overturned for students of color from first generation and low income backgrounds. Affirmative action still exists for children of donors. Affirmative action still exists for privileged students who have connections to admissions offices. And first generation low income POC students matter just as much as FGLI white students, especially when we get the same test scores, the same grades. It is all about leveling the playing field. Don't ever tell me the playing field is level when there is so much inequity in opportunity, when we don't have the same access to resources such as education, such as achievements, such as competitions. We simply need to have affirmative action in order to be able to consider the stories of all the applicants who apply and who struggle and who deserve the same access to these institutions as everyone else does. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Migdalia. I'm a rising junior studying mechanical engineering at Tufts University in Massachusetts. And as soon as I heard about the Supreme Court ruling, I was tired. I just felt exhausted. I am an indigenous, I'm a Latina, I'm a woman, I'm first generation, I'm low income, and I'm studying at a PWI, and I'm just exhausted. I feel like all my work, all the stuff that I have done in the past 2-3 years has been unseen and it has been demolished. In 2020, we had to cover our faces in rural Alabama. I'm from Alabama. And we had to cover our faces in the BLM protests. In 2021, I enrolled in college and I heard all these labels about being first gen, low income, women in STEM, Latinas. All these percentages and labels were thrown at me and I was very confused. Last year, I was also out there protesting in Boston over the Roe versus Wade being overturned.
And this year, this is our second week out here. I'm with Agustin and Alejandra, and we're tired. This is our second weekend out here protesting. It seems that every year it gets closer and closer to home. I'm exhausted, I'm tired. Every year I reach out to my high school teachers, and I went to a predominantly black high school. And there's a lot of Latinos and black students there that deserve the spot that a lot of these rich white legacy students are given to. I always reach out and I try to do everything in my best efforts to try and help out with college applications, to try and build confidence in these students back in high school and in rural places in the South, that they too can go into private and white institutions that are elite. I feel so exhausted. I work currently in the greater Boston area teaching computer science and robotics to K-8 schools. And I go every week and I teach these students that they too can be computer scientists, that they too can be engineers. But I say this, and am I creating false hope? I'm exhausted. I'm tired. Why are we doing this? It's 2023. I don't want to stand here and lie to these kids. I don't want to stand here and only think about myself when applying to grad school soon. I don't want to think about my friends when they're going to be applying to med schools also soon. I'm thinking about my cousins. I'm thinking about my nephews. I'm thinking about the students in elementary school right now. They deserve this fucking spot just as much as the rest of us do. I'm tired of these white legacy students, and I've been here for 2 years at Tufts, and enough is enough. I'm ready for us to take back what we didn't have. We have been left out of the conversation for so long, and by we, I mean black and brown and indigenous students. It's time for us to take back what we deserve. Thank you.
I would like to recite a poem I wrote. It's called Affirmative Action Is. In the realm of hope and progress, I stand, a first-generation daughter of distant land with words and dreams intertwined with my core. I raise my voice for justice, for so much more. Affirmative action, a beacon burning bright, a promise of fairness, a way to make things right. For as a black woman, I've known my tides of strive, seeking equal opportunity, carving my path through life. Affirmative action is a bridge of empowerment to dismantle barriers built to prevent generations past fought for freedoms and call for actions. Now it's our turn to rise and stand tall. It's not about handouts or unwarranted gain, but recidifying histories married by chains. It's about acknowledging the uphill climb to the level the playing field, one step at a time. Through trials and tribulations, I've learned to bear the weight of expectations, a burden hard to share. But of affirmative action, it whispers in my ear that I am worthy, deserving, and can conquer any fear. It's about diversity, a tapestry of strength, creating spaces where all perspectives can extend. For representation matters. It paves the way to a future where dreams flourish, where minds won't stay astray. Affirmative action, a tool of reparation to bridge the gaps in our nation's foundation, to recidify the shadows of the past injustice, and forge a path towards a fairer compass. So I stand here, strong. My voice joins the chorus, urging us along. Together we rally, hand to hand, demanding justice for this promised land. Affirmative action, let its flame ignite, a beacon of hope guiding us toward the light. For the dreams of all of us, regardless of the hue, will finally find solace in a world anew. If you do not see my race, you do not see me. I look back at my teenage years and I see a woman of rage and burning tongue. I see timeless protests, rallies, marches, call to actions, Zoom meetings, and cries to equity and equal opportunity. Brown University, Harvard, Yale, URI, PC, Community College of Rhode Island, all colleges, universities, America. If you have not heard my voice before, listen now when I say, keep us in mind. Think about people like me, like my sisters, like my friends, like my family, because we matter too. Thank you.
At this time, we're gonna give an open forum. Gonna try to limit it to a couple of people because it's hot. There are waters there for anybody who wants some. I'm gonna first hand it off to NAACP President Gerard Catala, and then we're gonna, if anybody else would like to speak, please come up front and let me know. Thank you.
Thank you. So first and foremost, I just want to say how proud we are of Zay. I know Makora did a rally a few months back, and all the young ladies here and students that are here today and who organized this. I know we got a call from Zay as well, Madam Vice President, and I know I was in Boston working on this affirmative action with some members of our national organization and some members of the Boston branch in the New England Area Conference. I just want to say the Met is doing a wonderful job with their students. They are doing some fabulous things over there. We need to make sure that we continue to support them. So thank you, ladies, for putting this event on today, and thank you for reaching out to the NAACP. Thank you for reaching out to Black Lives Matter PAC and Black Lives Matter. Now, I wore this shirt today on purpose. It's a shirt that holds the crest of my fraternity, Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. And surrounded by it, and I would go on to say protected by it, are the words, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. To me, this is the coming together of organizations, the grouping together of people. This is what we need. We need all our people to come together and build strong bonds. That's how we fight this fight together. We cannot fight this fight individually. It needs to be done as one impenetrable unit. Now, when I first got here today, we was trying to decide where we're going to stand and have the rally. Was it going to be over there in the shade? Well, I said no. I said, we don't need to sit back and be cool. We should be in the sun. We should be sweating. We should be persevering. We should be letting the people know that we're here to grind and fight for what we believe in. Yes. I further went on to say, why not do it in front of the Brown University Bear? Strength, courage, and independence. This is what that Brown University Bear stands for. And I'd like to first go out and thank Brown University for immediately after the decision to come out and say they are going to continue to support diversity, equity, and inclusion. So I'm honored to be on this campus today and having this rally. Now, I was going to read the first two stanzas of the Declaration of Independence, but I'm not going to do that now. But I do want to emphasize a very powerful line in the Declaration of Independence, and that's, all men are created equal. All men are created equal. Listen to that. All men, which is to say all women, yes, are created equal. But we know, especially here in America, that all men and women are not treated equal. This needs to change. How's it going to change? It's going to change with the vote by the people. See, we have a superpower. The people have a superpower. We have to understand, this is not a sprint. They didn't just overturn affirmative action overnight. It's a marathon. It took time. And we have to understand it's going to be a marathon to get it back. And here's how it happens. We all come together and we decide who we're going to put in office. Not only in our local cities and towns, but in our state and throughout our nation. And that's how it changes. They say the power of the pen. The pen is mightier than the sword. Nothing's more powerful than the people when we stick together. Nothing's more powerful than the people when we stick together. So again, in closing, I'd like to thank the students of the Met. I know I have a tendency to be long-winded, especially about matters that I'm very passionate about, but I'm not. But I would like to say this. Go on the NAACP page, sign our petition. We have an affirmative action petition. Listen, that's how we start building the bond together. This is how we strengthen the unit. This is how we strengthen the unit. We need to become members. And I want to say this, on behalf of the NAACP Providence Branch, all students that are out here right now will have free admission to the NAACP. But you can just get with myself or Vice President Tingle, Second Vice Shirley Francis Frazier, Chairman Archie Johnson. You can get with one of us, give us your name, your information, and we will make you a member of the NAACP Providence branch. This is going to strengthen our youth and college division. This is going to make us strong. And like I said earlier today, come out, hear their voices, witness their strength for our future. Thank you.
Does you want to come speak?
Sir, I'll give it a try. Not after that guy. That guy was great. Peace and blessings, everybody. For those that don't know me, I'm new to your land. My name is Supreme Richardson. I am from Boston, former third vice president of the Boston NAACP, and now I am the assistant executive director for Black Lives Matter Rhode Island, where I'm coming to make structure and attack issues like this, affirmative action. I don't know why my color is always under attack. I gotta ask that question over and over. Why is my color under attack? But one thing I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna be short, and this is what's I want you to really. You can't hear me.
Just project, King. Just project, King.
Just project.
Just project your voice,
I know.
King.
I'm a little winded because I've been talking all week. Okay, I'll start over. My name is Supreme Richardson. I'm the former vice president of the Boston NAACP in Boston. I'm also now the assistant executive director for Black Lives Matter Rhode Island, African American Initiative System. I am still wondering why our color is under attack. It drives me crazy, you know. We did enough. We became subservient after we were placed here to build this land. And now we're deprived of education, we're deprived of opportunities, and so forth, so on. And it's always a black life under attack. This is all I'm going to say. People run government. Government doesn't run you. Just like this man said, if you step up, you got to step up not just to check a box, but you got to hold that person who you check the box for accountable. And if you need to know all that, you know, the Innovation Center is now going to be open fully to give our community programming, information around politics in our everyday life. So, you know, I commend these young ladies. It reminds me of when I was at the Boston NAACP branch and we had to fight the schools about hair. Which is stupid, if you ask me. But we did it, and we came up with a bill. Anything we black people are going to need, I'm going to tell you, they're going to say, we need a bill. But we shouldn't have to. Just like our white counterparts, we shouldn't have to. So I'm glad to stand here. I'm glad to be coming apart. And if you all need our assistance, we're here. Available all the time.
Hey, Supreme, stay there for a minute. Yeah. Hey, if you could just yield a couple seconds to me, because there's a few important matters. I'm all set, thank you. There are a few important matters that we missed, and you know, I find myself at these boardrooms and in these meetings, and everyone's taking hours and hours and hours discussing problems. No one ever discusses a solution. So look, while I said it's a marathon, and it is a marathon for us to get there, to get this reversed, we're going to need to put people in positions of power who share our concerns and who shares the concerns of the country. But in the immediate, here's what we can do. We can continue to meet with the university presidents in our local area and ask the same of everyone else across the country, and ask that they continue to support DEI when it comes to persons of color. This is something that NAACP is in the process of doing right now. Also, I'm a product of a HBCU. Lincoln University, 1854, the first historically black college to grant degrees in America. So I'm proud and honored to say that. And I wanted to say that right after you spoke, and Makora, I want to say she made light of the 31 or 32 schools she was accepted to, because she's actually going, if you don't mind, she's going to Spelman, which is the #1 black university. Howard. Okay. So thank you. All right. So look. So let me scratch that. But here's the thing. She got into Spelman, which is the #1 black institution. But she decided to go to Howard, which is a great school as well. A great school as well. And my fraternity was actually founded at Howard University. So congratulations there. Congratulations to all the students who are going on to HBCUs. But so here's the thing. The NAACP, we are going to hold college tours to HBCUs. We're looking to partners, sponsors, donors, throughout Rhode Island, throughout the region. Whoever has the ability to write a check to the NAACP Providence branch so we can get our students to the HBCUs next fall so they can tour and make decisions on their future, we would be greatly appreciative. So make sure you reach out to us so we can get that done. It is vitally important that we make sure our kids get a real shot at higher education.
But thank you so much, everyone, for coming. Please support our youth members in any way that you can, because they're really our future, and they're going to be the ones that ultimately vote the people that make bad decisions out. So thank you so much, everybody. I appreciate it.